We have definite, deep-seated disagreement over major moral issues in this country, whether you're on the pro-choice side or the pro-life side. That's come to be the case with same-sex marriage. It's becoming the case with euthanasia or death with dignity laws. We're seeing this on moral levels. There's a chasm now, a division that's becoming deeper and more vitriolic. And as a result, the politics that reflect that are becoming more vitriolic, I'm afraid. And so the first reaction a lot of Christians have is just to kind of stay out of all that. Look, this is not for me. I don't want to be in this. I'm struggling to keep my marriage together and raise my kids and do my job. And why do I need to be involved in all of this? It's kind of the first response that we have. It's exactly the opposite response of what Jesus would have us do. I believe Jesus wants us to engage on at least 3 levels. The first level is to be a responsible person who votes biblically. At this point, I want to be examining the opportunities, the choices, from a biblical perspective. That's not the way a lot of us process these things. Since 1960, someone did a study. Every president that was successfully elected was the more likable of the candidates, based on a specific likability index. The only time that wasn't true was in 2000, when Al Gore and George W. Bush tied on likability, and essentially tied in the election. So a lot of folk a lot of people vote, and even Christians vote based on who they like, or who they think is the more Christian candidate, or who they believe represents a biblical worldview, but they haven't really studied that. First thing we have to do is study that. How do you do that? Well, a lot of them, you can just go to their websites. You can look at what their positions are. There are organizations that can help you evaluate various positions from a biblical perspective. So the first thing we have to be as responsible biblical voters, where we understand what the position is and which one we are led to from a biblical perspective. None will be perfect, but one will be the person we feel drawn to. Second, we need to be involved in the process. I'm convinced that more Christians are called into public service than are answering the call. I'm absolutely convinced of that. We change culture top down. And so being involved in the process, whether you're running for office or you're engaged in the political arena in some way, the culture of your environment is absolutely critical. And then, of course, the third level is intercession. In 1 Timothy 2, we are commanded to pray for our rulers. When Paul's writing that, he's not writing that about evangelical Christians. He's writing that about the very government that eventually beheaded him because he wouldn't stop preaching the gospel. And nonetheless, he says that we are required to pray for, to intercede for those that are in authority. And as we do that, then we're giving God an opportunity to make changes in their lives that humans can't accomplish. And all of that is to the glory of God.